And welcome everyone to a Big Ten Network off-season chat. I'm Andy Katz, pleased to be joined by Connor McCaffery from Iowa, taking advantage of that extra year. Connor, I'm curious, with your brother there, your father coaching, this is a family affair. How long did it even take you to make this decision?
Honestly, it took me longer than I think most people realized. My mom, my dad were both kind of pushing me to come back to school a lot earlier than I think I was ready to make that decision. But I ended up wanting to do it, like you said, my brother being here, playing for my dad one more year, living in town. I knew if at any point next year, if the team was struggling or something, I knew I would have regretted it if I didn't come back. So that's ultimately why I made the decision to come back. Just being around here one more year. I have a podcast now, and I really like doing that. I didn't want to give that up yet. So it was a multitude of things, but it just came down to family. I knew I would regret not playing. I've been playing a lot of pickup, and I knew that I wasn't ready to give that up yet because I just kept wanting to play more and more.
And I know that obviously Keegan's gone. We'll see about Chris here. You guys were the big surprise last year in the kind of season you had in the regular season, and then winning the Big Ten tournament. How much did that also fuel you that, we got a good thing going here, and it may look a little different, no question, but we can continue that momentum?
Yeah, no, I that was definitely a part of it. Because I knew that, if I did decide to come back, I knew we would have a good team. It was kind of like 2 years ago, we were good. And then coming back after this past year, nobody really thought we were going to be, we weren't picked high in the league. Nobody really thought we were going to do what we did. But we all kind of knew in the locker room, like we were confident, and we feel that at this point, we have a good system in place, and we got guys that come in, make shots, play their role, and do whatever it takes to win. And I know that coming back this next year, I know that we're going to have a lot of guys that can do a lot of the same things. Obviously losing Keegan hurts, losing J-Bo hurts. There's a lot of threes, it's a lot of points, but we got two good freshmen coming in, DeSante and Josh Dix. And then we got, Peyton Sanford's going to play more. Chris hopefully comes back. She's going to step into a bigger role. My brother averaged, a good amount of points. I think he'll take a step. I think Philip's going to be really good again. And Tony Perkins, you saw step up at the end of the season as well. So I think we got a lot of guys that can do a lot of things on the court, and I'm going to just try to be that kind of that Swiss Army knife again, I guess, and help the rest of the guys out.
So we know, Connor, the swing of emotion in March is crazy because I was there for witnessing what a great run you guys had that entire week in Indy, winning the Big Ten tournament. I picked you go to the Final Four. I got wrapped up in it. How good you guys looked. And then you play a Richmond team that was hot just as well. And that's it. And that's the cruelty of the tournament, because it's one and done. Yeah. Now that I get a chance to talk to you, what was that like, that complete swing from a Sunday to, I think, a Thursday or Friday?
Yeah, Thursday. So, it was the ultimate swing of emotions. Like you said, it was the highest of the high and then the lowest of the low. We keep saying, we went on Sunday, and it was like we played 4 games in 4 days, and four tough games. They were, no game in the Big Ten's easy. So, I think a lot of guys, were kind of like, they felt this release on Sunday, and we got back Sunday night, and then we left Monday to go to Buffalo. So it was the ultimate turnaround. We didn't even really celebrate the championship, honestly, until I guess we kind of celebrated it a little bit in our banquet, maybe a little bit that night, with the team just on the court afterwards. But kind of once we left the arena, we kind of knew our thoughts kind of shifted to Richmond, and it's just the ultimate turnaround, like you said. Like you're on top of the world, and then you're immediately on to the next game, and it just, I think it just snuck up on us, and we didn't play well. I think we beat them 9 out of 10 times, but like you said, that's the beauty of the tournament, right? That's why it's the greatest tournament in the world.
And how much does that ending fuel you?
Oh, so much. I still can't really sleep some nights.
You're also going to be in a position, staying longer, to benefit from NIL. And I'm curious just how that has evolved over the last year. because you and your brother behind you, we'll see your younger brother, obviously, like things are changing daily. How has being a college athlete even changed in the last year for you?
Oh, it's been unbelievable. I think people are learning what this new NIL stuff is really going to be like. Our fan base is trying to adjust and adapt just like every other fan base is. And, like I mentioned earlier, I have a podcast and I've done, I've done well in that. And I think that, like you said, the game's changing and it's going to continue to change. And on a day-to-day basis, we don't really know what that's going to look like. There's going to be coaches that maybe like the coaches never adjust, and it probably will hurt them in the long run. And that'll suck to see. And there's going to be places that thrive off of this because they have money and backing to pay guys. And, because I mean, at the end of the day, like it's not the NIL in itself is a good idea, but that now it's pretty much, it's not really turning into that anymore at a lot of places. It's not as much like, you're not performing a service as yourself. You're kind of more just, you're just getting paid. And so that's, and that's what the game's going to turn into. And, I mean, I think that, like you said, it's changing and it's going to be just something we have to adapt to. And I've been fortunate enough to kind of take advantage of that at times. And that definitely went into my decision a little bit to come back because, versus making nothing next year, as opposed to being in the workforce, I'll be able to at least hopefully rival that cost just a little bit.
And lastly, Connor, because I mean, obviously, unlike Keegan, who's going to be a lottery pick, you don't have that as a guarantee, and you've got something that is incredibly special. That is a one-time thing, which is to play one more year for your father with your brother. And I know we'll talk about this again over the next year, but I mean, just can you put any value, just how do you express what that's like? Because this is a moment in time of your life that isn't going to happen again.
Yeah, no. And that's really what it came down to, honestly. At the end of the day, the money is nice. The NIL money is nice. Coming back and playing in the Big Ten one more year, that's going to be awesome. But being in town one more year, being able to go to my little brother, who's going to be a sophomore in high school, being able to go to his games. I was able to go to almost half, if not 3/4 of his games last year. That's something that if I leave town and start working, I'm not going to be able to do. And so, having another year of that, having another year, I live with Patrick, so having another year living with Patrick. I'm having another year with my dad every day. Having another year with my mom in town. My sister goes to school out east, but just being around the family one more year. If I did end up leaving school, taking a job somewhere else, I wouldn't have been able to do that. And so I'm grateful that this opportunity came about, and I'm really excited. I've already started working towards next season. So
awesome. Well, Connor, we look forward to seeing you certainly throughout the course of the year, and then we'll talk again. Great to have you back in the Big Ten.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.